Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys tuning in for a little on the water video today. I'm going to give you guys a detailed seminar on how to fish a boat dock, a floating boat dock. And what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you guys out on this dock, and I'm going to show you every hiding spot where a bass loves to live at. I mean, depending upon the time of the year and some variables like water clarity, water temperature, they're going to be in different parts of the dock with different techniques. So we're going to do everything. I'm going to take you out on this thing. I'm going to talk about water clarity, water temperature, and I definitely have no doubt in my mind by the time you get done with this video, you'll be able to catch a lot more fish off a boat dock. So hopefully the wind's not too bad, guys. The wind's blowing like 25 miles an hour, so I hope the audio is not too bad in this video here. Also, guys, quick reminder, anyone interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, you can do that by going to my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler. Just shoot me a private message. And once again, guys, you guys hear me talking about it. Just wanted to extend a big thank you to everybody that's taken time to use and bookmark all the links I put in my video descriptions. Good way to support the channel, and really appreciate that. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn the camera around here, and we're going to walk through this whole boat dock, everything around the boat dock, and talk about it. First thing, guys, right off the bat, if you are on some type of a marina dock, never underestimate the boat ramp. Boat ramp is always going to be a key area right here. Always fish live on a boat ramp. Favorite way to fish it: jerk bait, shaky head crankbait, football head jig. Just fish the concrete around the ramps there. And also, I don't know if you can see it here, but most of these water's high, it's hard to see it, but most of these ramps, they've got riprap that runs along the edge of them here that the fish can get on. But so just real quick before we get on the dock, never pass up a boat ramp around there. Okay, now next thing you have in here is actually the inside part of the dock. This is not the dock, but it's the area around it. All of this water that you see right here, every boat dock's got a walkway here. Every area, this area right here around the walkway, is a key area that the fish relate to in correlation with the dock, because these areas right here are really good feeding areas. A lot of bluegills live up in here. It's usually a gradual slope to it. Really good to just throw like a shaky head or a wacky rig out in the open area around here. This is probably better at nighttime or in the springtime of the year, but never underestimate how good this open area around the walkways can be. Really, really good. Now, speaking of walkways, guys, the walkways are probably my favorite part of the dock to fish. Now, see these floats that you have underneath here? Bass love to get underneath these floats on the walkways. And don't ever think they're too shallow. Like, see this float right here? That float right there is probably in about 1.5 feet or 2 feet of water, but see the shade there? I can't tell you how many big ones that I've caught flipping a jig or something on the shallow part of the walkway right there. Never underestimate that. And based upon the water depth, what I usually do is I go down through here, and my favorite is either skipping a shaky head on a light head, a wacky rig. Another bait that works really good out here, guys, is that Megabass sleeper gill. Anything that you can skip up underneath there is going to be a really good way to catch them. You got to get it up underneath there, under the shade. It's going to be, those fish love to tuck underneath that shade with it. Now, some of these areas also, you're going to have cables that come off the inside part of the dock. These cables can be really good areas as well. And any type of irregular feature that you have, like see that hose running off in there? Bass love to get around stuff like that on a dock. Just any type of irregular feature. You can see the cable coming in right there. They like to relate to those cables. Now, this right here, we're coming up on a key part of the dock. The area right here where the walkway intersects with the inside part of the dock, this is a big fish area. Now, this is a complex target area. Bass love to get in the shade right where that intersection takes place. So this whole inside part of the dock, I'll flip a jig up there, flip a creature bait. I've caught so many big ones. Out of all the boat dock fishing, guys, that I've done, most of the big fish have come either right here or right underneath the walkway here. So never ever underestimate this area here. Now let's walk out on the dock itself. Now this right here, this is a marina dock, but you can relate this to a residential dock, just any type of smaller dock, because this is just a larger, example of it. If you have a fish cleaning station, guys, Never bypass this right here. Fish cleaning station is a natural attractor to bass. You know, you have a lot of fish ghosts in there. Sometimes the perch, the crawdads, especially crawdads. Crawdads love to live underneath these fish cleaning stations. So anytime you see a fish cleaning station, always fish around it, because there's usually a lot of crawdads and bait fish. Okay, now the other parts of the dock we're going to talk about, we're going to walk down through here. This right here is probably one of the areas of a boat dock that fish live on more than any place else, because they're hard to get to. These inside walkway parts right here, because what you usually have is you usually got boats here, and these areas right in through here where the walkway is, they see next to little to no fishing pressure. Guys, there is a huge population of bass that live on the inside part of these walkways right here. Now you can see the gap right there. Look at that gap that runs down through there, that little bit of light. This is where you want to get your bait. And if you can see that right there, that light area, if you can flip or pitch a jig or something like that in this area here, this is money. A lot of guys, this part of the country, guys will flip spoons down in here. Really, really good areas. Pay attention also, guys, to bluegills as you come in through here. One of my favorite ways to fish the mid part of the dock here, now we're walking down the mid part, is the bass. Again, they're going to be suspended under this styrofoam here. Again, depending upon how deep it is, but taking a swim bait, glide bait, swim bait, chatter bait, something like that, running it down the inside part of these slips, great way to catch them. Now, a lot of this depends on your water visibility. If the water visibility is less than 2 foot, I'm usually throwing a chatter bait or a spinner bait. I'll just slowly work my way down through here. You know, I'll toss that spinner bait or that chatter bait right alongside here. If the water's cleaner, like 3 foot of visibility or something like that, you know, something like a swim bait can be good. Swimming a jig can be good. A jerk bait can be really good. A lot of times these fish love to get underneath these things here, and you can just run a jerk bait along to them. But this is all relative to the water depth, because based upon how the dock is set up, you may have on a real flat bank, this may be 5 foot deep out here, or maybe 50 feet deep. So if the water is less than 20 foot deep, try to fish the bottom a lot in here. And if the water is really deep, you know, those fish are going to be suspended. But you can see right there, there's some bluegills right there. See that bluegill right there? That's what those fish love to be on around here. That's one of the reasons they're here, is it's a tremendous amount of food for the fish. Okay, now the next high percentage area, let's walk down here, is the end of the dock. In my opinion, the most productive parts of the dock are the very front of it, the walkway, the inside part, and the very outside part of the dock right here. There's docks right here, there's boats tied up here. Bass love to get on these outside parts of the boat dock. Now, generally what you have, there'll be more fish that use this area, but they're gonna be smaller. The corners right here, see the corner of this dock right here, and the corner of the dock down here, this is going to be a super high percentage area. Don't ever bypass the very outside corners of these docks here. You can see that, well, there's one right there. These outside corners are going to be money. Probably my favorite way to fish an outside corner is going to be with a jerk bait. Works really good with that. Okay, here's a couple considerations when you're talking about how to approach it. I just gave you an example of where the fish live at most of the time. But the technique and the approach and the most productive part of the dock, you have to consider your water clarity and your water temperature. Water clarity and water temperature is going to dictate technique more than anything else. And the thing about it, boat docks are good in about any water clarity that you have. For the most part, I like to fish docks if the water visibility is less than 3 feet, if the water temperature is warmer than 60 degrees. I don't catch too many fish on docks if the water temperature, or let's say 55 degrees. I don't catch too many fish on docks if the water temperature is less than 55 degrees, if the water visibility is under 3 feet. If the water visibility is cleaner, like you have 3 to 4 foot of visibility, the docks can be good all year long. Even in the winter time, you can catch fish like on finesse jigs and a little bit cleaner water, shaky heads, drop shots, anything like that. Every single dock is unique to itself in terms of the depth that the dock is in, how the dock is built, how the dock is positioned on the bank, how many boats are in the slips or are not in the slips. They're hard places to fish. If you If you are intimidated by fishing boat docks and you don't do it a lot because they're difficult to fish, you're not alone. These are hard places to fish. They're hard on their boat. You know, the cable will scratch your boat sometimes if you don't watch. When you're dealing with having to get baits in hard to reach areas like this right here, I mean, a lot of people don't want to mess with it. But think about this, guys. If you're a bass and you're wanting to get away from things, if you live like right there, you know, where there's perch swimming around there, you're never going to see a bait. It's like these bass that live on these walkway areas in the middle of the docks, they are literally untapped fish. The only times that they get caught is if they swim out to the edge or something like that. So when you approach a boat dock, try to hit the obvious stuff first. Hit the corners, hit the easy to reach spots, and then take your time and try to get back into these nooks and crannies, the hard to reach areas. That's where those bigger fish are going to be at. And there's really not a time of year that docks don't produce. I mean, again, based upon your water clarity. But in my opinion, my favorite time to fish a boat dock is anytime the water temperature is over 55 degrees. 55 degrees, I don't care if it's in March or if it's in December. Anything over 55 degrees, bass are going to use them a lot. They're going to be around those docks quite a bit. And they're just, they're sort of like a necessary evil. If it was up to me, guys, I would not ever want to see a dock. I don't want to see a sign of civilization. I don't want to have to mess with fishing docks. But as our lakes get more populated and get more popular and get more developed, unfortunately, that's just a necessary, I don't know if it's necessary, but that's a reality. Our lakes are just getting more built up. You're going to have to learn how to fish docks. Every lake in the country is getting more and more docks on it unless there's regulations against it. Prime example, Table Rock Lake, you know, where I fish a lot. There was never even a dock on the lake when I started fishing it. Now the lake's full of docks. So you're gonna have to learn how to do it. It's just one of the things, guys. But again, one final thing is the inside part here, guys, right there where the dock hits the water. Don't forget to fish all around it. And sometimes, let me one final thing here, guys. Sometimes if you have the area between the docks like this, these open areas like that, a lot of times those fish will like to get in there and suspend in between those docks if the water's clear. So use your creativity, guys. Use your imagination and creativity. You know, just get in here and fish them because they live around these areas. So hope it helps you guys out. We'll talk later.